Hello, darlings.
Today is May 21st, 2020, and we are looking at John 1:35 through 51. Did I say that right? Yes, that's right. All right, you ready to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Okay. I'm gonna fall asleep while you do that.
Okay, Anna's going to take a little nap. It's getting kind of late, 9:47 here. The following day, John was again standing with two of his disciples.
There's a problem because I'm holding the camera.
Yeah, don't go too sleepy. As Jesus
I'll
walked
just
by,
go mostly sleepy.
John looked at him and declared, "Look, there's the Lamb of God." Do you have anything to say about that?
You said it again.
How many times does that make?
What?
3. Anna pointed that out to me. That's the
Three
third time.
times. That's a
that
three.
John
That's our
recorded it.
first 3, maybe. That's the first 3 that we noticed.
When John's two disciples heard this, they followed Jesus. I'm just going to stop here and do a little running commentary on this part. I think it's interesting. I feel like that John has a way of writing here so far where he takes like the not microscope, like the magnifying glass, and he shows you one part of the scene. So you only see the people that he wants you to see in the scene. He doesn't tell you
He's showing you a little string.
Yeah, well, just like we're going to look at John and the two disciples with him and Jesus walking by. And that's all. You don't know, is there crowds around? Are they by the
Exactly,
lake?
he's just showing you a little string.
So that's an interesting, I feel like that's
We don't know how we feel about that, by we I mean that.
Let's see. When John's two disciples, oh, look, the Lamb of God. When John's two disciples heard this, they followed Jesus. Jesus looked around and saw them following.
He knew that was going to happen beforehand. Come on, Jesus.
Yeah, he knew.
Don't you do a fake double take. I see you.
But then he says, "What do you want?" He asked them.
Kind of rude way to say it. But maybe he said it in a nice tone.
Hey, what's up? They replied, "Rabbi," which means teacher, "where are you staying?" We're going to keep going with the running commentary, I guess. So yeah. And I think the "what do you want" question, this is interesting. You know, we've talked about in Luke how it seems like Jesus is always trying to call out what's going on in their heart. And now he's asked them
in their heart
the question, "What do you want?" which may seem like a superficial question of "Why are you following me?"
Maybe it's a deep question.
Maybe it's a deep question.
I'm the producer here, so I'm allowed to do that.
And so,
I'm the editor.
it's a good question. If Jesus asks you, "What do you want?" what would your answer be?
What do you want?
That's right. That's the question.
That's the question. If we want to know, leave it in the comments.
So it's a little creepy. They're following Jesus around. He turns around and sees him. He's like, "What do you want?" And they get a little creepy back. They say, "Where are you staying?"
So they didn't answer his question. They asked the question back.
Jesus style.
Jesus style. He does
J-Dog
that.
style.
J-Dog. Let's write a rap.
Yeah.
About J-Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think when they said, "Where are you staying?" I think they wanted to be close to him. It's like, this is how we're going to get close to this guy. They wanted to know where he's staying.
Yeah, they were stalking him, but they just wanted to be close.
But Jesus is not to be creeped out. He says,
we don't condone stalking.
Except on Facebook.
Don't stalk people.
He says,
don't ask them where they're staying if you don't know them.
This is a different culture.
You can only pull this off 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, totally different
Disclaimer.
culture. Disclaimer, not current day.
Don't do
Jesus says, gets just equally creepy, he says, "Come and see."
Don't say that either.
He said, it was about...
Unless Jesus calls you.
If Jesus says, "Come and see," you go see. It doesn't matter what he's saying, you go see. If he's saying, you come see...
You get a free pass. Even if it's creepy.
If he's saying, "You come see coronavirus," you say, "Yes, Lord. I'll come
see
coronavirus with you, Jesus."
It's Rona Day.
Could be Rona Day.
Just like all the other days.
So, I think it's cool, though, that he doesn't say, like, "Oh, I'm staying over there." Where's my finger? "I'm staying over there." He doesn't just point them over. He says, he puts his arm around him. He says, come and see.
I keep covering the crucifix with my
Oh, of course you do.
by accident. I'm sorry, Jesus. I love you.
It was about 4 o'clock.
That's not a gang sign.
That's peace. In the
Peace.
afternoon, when they went with him to the place where he was staying, and they remained with him the rest of the day. I'm like, well, I'm jealous. Of course, I get every day with Jesus, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's the whole thing. Every
Yeah.
day, every moment.
Every day.
Just talking to Todd, my friend Todd, today, and he said,
You guys know Todd.
y'all know Todd. If you don't know Todd, that's okay. This is what Todd said.
We
He's
love Todd.
talking about his big thing for doing his days with Jesus. He says his new phrase is breath by breath. What do you think of that, Anna?
I don't know how I feel about that. Because breathing, I mean, I guess this might be part of the metaphor, but at first, breathing is involuntary, and at first, at least, thinking about Jesus is voluntary. So,
But he's only a breath away.
is he?
And if you have coronavirus, every breath may be conscious. Don't go there.
What?
We're trying not to get me all.
I'm not getting all amped up. That's my nervousness.
Okay, moving right along. Here we go. Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. Hey, by the way,
Y'all remember him?
we haven't looked this up yet, but we think this may be the Peter that we liked in
Peter.
in Luke. Yeah.
Peter.
And in Acts, both.
Oh yeah, he's all
He's the
over
man.
the place in Acts.
He is the man.
Is he the one who went with John Mark?
No, John Mark went with Barnabas,
Oh yeah.
and Paul went with Silas.
Paul went with not Paul, Peter.
No, it wasn't Peter. It was Paul and
It wasn't
Barnabas.
Peter.
Split up
It was
over
Paul
John
and
Mark.
Barnabas.
Yeah, Peter's up doing his other things.
Who
Seeing
knew?
seeing the vision with
Who
the
knew?
sheet full of animals.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was one of the men who heard what John said and then followed Jesus. Andrew went to find his brother Simon and told him, "We found the Messiah," which means Christ. Then Andrew brought Simon to meet Jesus.
This is how Peter and Jesus met. You guys wanted backstory? You got it.
Good backstory. Listen to this. Looking intently at Simon, Jesus said, "Your name is Simon, son of John, but you will be called Cephas," which means Peter. How would you like that if Jesus looked intently
Wouldn't that be weird if you changed your name?
right in
these
your
days?
face and then changed your name? That was kind of a mean look. Do you think that's that? I think Jesus looked just intent and intense.
How was that one?
I don't know about that.
Okay. I'm apparently not doing a very good Jesus impression.
The next day, Jesus decided to go to Galilee. He found Philip
Galilee,
and
as I
said,
like to call it.
"Stop interrupting the
Sorry.
reading," and said to him, "Come follow me." Philip was from Bethsaida, Andrew and Peter's hometown. These are homeboys.
They're homeboys.
They're buddies. They're childhood buddies. Philip went to
They
look.
grew up together,
They
maybe.
did. See? I
Isn't
didn't
that
know that.
nice? Didn't you like that?
Philip went to look for Nathanael and told him, "We found the very person that Moses and the prophets wrote about."
Wait, so who three people was it?
Philip.
Hometown.
Andrew and Peter.
Well, Andrew and Peter are brothers.
True.
So of course
So
they're
they're
from the same town.
The very person that Moses and the prophets wrote about. His name is Jesus, the son of Joseph of Nazareth. Okay, hair problem. "Nazareth!" exclaimed Nathanael. "Can anything good come from Nazareth?"
Your reading could be so much more interesting.
Well, you take it then.
I think Jesus needs to sound like Mr. Beaver.
Okay, me, Mr. Beaver?
Yeah.
Is that sacrilegious?
Oh, I don't know. He might have sounded like that. Who knows? He might have a low voice.
What do you want Peter to sound like?
Nazareth!
What do you want
Exclaimed
Philip to
Nathanael.
sound like?
Can anything good come from Nazareth? Come and see for yourself. Philip replied. You never give anybody intonation. You give them weird intonation.
Oh, okay, keep
Like
going.
you're
You're doing
reading
good.
a script. As they approached, Jesus said, "Now here is a genuine..."
Wait, this is Mr. Beaver, you said.
No, he's not Mr. Beaver.
Okay.
We were just considering that.
Okay.
Now here is a genuine son of Israel, a man of complete integrity. How do you know about me? Nathanael asked. Jesus replied, I could see you under the fig tree before Philip found you. Jesus replied, Martha needs to wipe her nose.
I just had an itch, but I
She
didn't want to
just
touch my
had
nose.
an itch,
We're thinking
okay?
about Miss Rona tonight.
Yeah, we're thinking about Rona, guys. Don't touch your face.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your hands. Then Nathanael exclaimed, so he said, I saw you under the fig tree. Then Nathanael exclaimed, Rabbi, you are the Son of God, the King of Israel. Jesus asked him, did you believe this just because I told you I had seen you under the fig tree? You'll see greater things than this. Then he said, I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth. You will all see heaven open and the angels of God going up and down on the Son of Man, the one who is the stairway between heaven and earth.
So
Don't touch your face. I broke the rule.
This is a really interesting section to me. I really like the way that this section ends. And
it's very all over the place in my opinion. But maybe there's a common thread. I don't know.
Well, here's something that I noticed. Jesus sort of prophetically recognized Nathanael when he saw him. And
he says, a true Son of Israel.
Yeah, so he kind of looked into his inner self.
Is a man of complete integrity possible? Seems a little bit sus.
Yeah, we don't know about that. And then you remember how
maybe he
John,
repents, I don't know.
How John also prophetically recognized Jesus. So we start the section with John prophetically recognizing Jesus.
The
again.
prophet
says,
train.
You're the Lamb, yes. And then we come to the caboose, and Jesus prophetically recognizes.
You don't know if this is the caboose.
Nathanael. And then Nathanael's like, you are the Son of God. And Jesus is like, you believe I'm the Son of God just because I could prophetically see in who you are?
Martha, you don't know that this is the caboose.
Okay.
Each one was in one section each. Each prophet was in one section, so maybe we'll get a new prophet in the next section.
Maybe. So anyway, where we're going with that is, he said, just because, babe, this is how I took this. Just because I'm a prophet and I can see inside you does not necessarily mean I'm the Messiah. I'll tell you what does mean I'm the Messiah. I am like the stairway where heaven comes down to earth and earth goes up to heaven. Stop. So this is really meaningful to us because we're also reading Genesis. We're reading along in Genesis.
Oh, Genesis.
And in Genesis, we just read about the Tower of Babel, where
Not
they said,
just.
okay, it's been a little bit.
Somewhat recently.
They said that it's like, they thought that, the commentary we read said they thought that the Tower of Babel was basically them trying to make a human place for God to come down and descend to earth. Like, but as if he had human needs.
Eat and sleep, and they put all that on top of their tower.
He didn't need all
on top
that.
of their little tower.
But it's like a place for him to come down, and God's like, I'm not coming down on your terms.
God's like, I'm not into that either. And then he's like, and then he kicks the tower over. I don't know if you can see that.
That's a big kick.
It was a big kick.
And then, down the road a little ways, we haven't got there yet, but Jacob has a dream about a stairway leading up and down to heaven that the angels are on.
That's a spoiler, Martha.
True. But I think that ties into this, that he's basically saying, I'm fulfilling that. I am the true stairway, not like the Tower of Babel that was the not true stairway because men made it up. I'm the stairway from God that will bring heaven down and earth up, and the two will meet on me, the stairway. That's my thought on that.
That's a good thought. I hadn't had that thought. We hadn't talked about that.
That's all I got. You got anything else, Anna? All right.
Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Wear your mask. Be safe. Call your friends. Don't go insane. Now it's time for our outro.
We love you, Jesus. We praise you.
Okay, bye.